Hey everyone, Charlene Bauer, Ladies Off-Road Network. We are live at 5 on a Tuesday, and it is our Trail Ready Tuesday for March, which I'm super excited about. We have so many great things to talk about. So many things to talk about. But I definitely want to get the chat going. So everybody just start saying your hellos. We should be live on Facebook and on YouTube at the moment, which I'm really excited about. So we should be having everybody coming in, saying your hellos, and let's get ready for a whopping March. So as you can tell, I am still in the motorhome. Still in the old beeve here. Never went home after King of the Hammers. Yeah, so that's its own story. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm going to start off with some big questions about camping. So hopefully you guys are going to get your fingers ready here. And then we're going to do our Trail Ready Tuesday tips, which we're going to talk about mapping. We got some old business to talk about, just making sure everybody knows it's still available. Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about She Conquers Dirt. And then a lot of opportunity and events coming up. So say your hellos. Now, question is, we're here in the Beeve, right? So camping questions are how we're going to start this off. Camping questions. Are you, if you even have an RV, are you a dry camping person or are you a hookup style person? Oh, look. Piston wants to come say hi. Say hi, everybody. Say hi to Piston. Oh my gosh, he has wet paws. He must have just been in the sink. Okay. Wet paws. So, are you a dry camping person, meaning you don't need electricity, water, sewer, all that kind of stuff? Or are you more of a hookup style camping person? And right now, I can go either way. Like, I definitely love my electricity on certain moments, right? And I got the little gen running. I have a separate Honda generator so that when I'm dry camping, like I am at the moment, or at King of the Hammers, that we have the opportunity to like have some simple power. What's your call? Dry camping, hookup camping. Okay. All right. Second question. Second question is, what kind of a camper are you? Are you a motorhome camper? Are you an Airstream camper? Because I did that 2 weeks ago, like a trailer camper. Are you a van, Sprinter van camper, like smaller vehicle? Are you a tent camper? And Elisa Lucas is a small trailer camper. So I guess we should probably put that in there too, right? So what kind of camper are you? What kind of camper are you? Which one? A big motorhome. They're kind of fluffy, not gonna lie. Big motorhome, a decent trailer, a small trailer, a Sprinter van, or a tent. What do you got? What do you got? All right. Gosh dang it. I'm going to try not to cough, but I can't guarantee anything. I got that yuck just like everybody else did. Okay, so everybody got that one in? Okay, we got a tent camper. We got a couple people that are like, I like big things. Yes, awesome. Awesome. All right. And then my third one is, what are your no-goes? Like, no go, not going to go camping unless I have this thing. Okay, so I was Sprinter van camping a couple weeks back, 3 weeks ago. I did 4 days in a Sprinter van, and it was cool, man. I just totally did it on purpose. I really wanted to understand like the vehicle dynamics, how they work, like what's going on. It was great. I love it. But there was no toilet in there. And that made those mornings super rough, if you know what I mean, right? So, what is your like no go? Gotta have it in my camping thing. Mine is kind of a toilet. Like, I don't know, if I'm tent camping, it's a different level. Like, I'm not expecting it. I don't know. What's your no go? All right. And then my fifth one doesn't really have to do with camping. It has to do more with off-road. What style of off-road are you? What are you into? So my little camping trip that I've been on, I've been at King of the Hammers, so that is rock racing, like fast rock racing, right? Um, I have been to We Rock, which is slow rock crawling. And this week we are at the Mint 400, which is desert racing. So if you had to choose one, I know it's hard. If you had to choose one, what is the style of off-road racing you prefer? Rock racing, like fast rock racing, rock crawling, like technical cone dodging type, or desert racing? What do we got? What do we got? All right. So, if you're just joining in, I just went through 5 questions and we can go through them really fast again, but you can go back up to the beginning and just answer the questions. So, the first question was dry camping or hookups. Second one is what do you prefer? Motorhome, Airstream, like trailer, Sprinter van style, small trailer style, tent style. The third one is what are your no-go boundaries? Like not going unless I have this. And then I guess there was only 4 questions. And then what's your off-road competition of choice? Like fast, King of the Hammers, is it We Rock, slow, or is it the Mint 400? So those are the 4 questions at the moment that we're trying to get all this started with. Go ahead and throw some answers in. I'm reading them as we go. It's pretty fun. Love it. Appreciate it. And in true camping fashion, we're always chasing something. So this trip, it seems like I have been chasing the refrigerator. Like the Chronicles of the Refrigerator has been very aggressive. I've lost some mac and cheese over the deal. I lost some meatballs over the deal. I had to like throw out everything that was in my fridge at one point. Oh my gosh, it was a lot. So always something, right? Okay, so while you guys are answering those questions, I'm going to move on to our Trail Ready Tuesday tip, which happens to be about mapping. Trail Ready means understanding that we're out there, we're ready to go. Doesn't mean that you've bought everything, doesn't mean that you have the biggest tires on there, but that you're always going forward and trying to figure out that next step of being successful out there on the trail, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about mapping. These are my 5 pro tips for mapping. There's so much that goes into mapping, but I really want you to think about these 5 things as you are considering and getting ready to go out on the trail. The number 1 is what map opportunities do you have? Now we're so 2026, right? So as soon as I say map and opportunity, you're like, where's my phone? And what app is for that, right? So we use onX Off-Road here at Bauer Media and Ladies Off-Road Network. That's our main app. And I also strongly, strongly encourage you to get used to using Google Maps, especially my Apple friends who don't like Google Maps. I really need you to learn how to use Google Maps, right? So between onX and Google Maps, you have a really great opportunity to be successful out there on the trail. Now, there are other apps for that. And not necessarily that some are better than the others. They're just all kind of different. And as you get into the mode of which one works best for you, you get to learn it and get to understand it. Those are the 2 that I work best for me and everything that I do. So onX and Google, find the app for that, figure it out, look what you got going on. But the second part of that is that's all cool and dandy until you're in the middle of nowhere, right? And that's our job, is to go in the farthest places where we don't have service. Therefore, what we're really looking for is offline maps. There's a lot of different ways for you to figure out how to use offline maps, and I encourage you very, very aggressively to make sure that you look into that. Whichever app that you are using, figure out how to use offline maps. So here's how your phone works. If you see the little blue dot, right, on Google Maps as an example, and your onX, everything else, that blue dot is actually a satellite. So this phone, even if I had no service right here, right now, I would have a blue dot on a blank screen. And that tells you where you are, that blue dot. However, that does us absolutely no good unless we have a fancy map underneath it, right? Like, okay, I'm here, but I'm here in this huge blur of a screen. Therefore, the offline maps, the concept behind it is you download that map onto your phone ahead of time. And then when you have no service, the map is still there where it comes up onto your phone And that blue dot allows that map to be working at exactly the right time. And voila, you know where you are, even if you have no service. It's a really, really big deal. And I really encourage you to make sure that whatever you are using, you use offline maps. In fact, Onyx like harps on it so much that they're like, do offline maps and then turn it on airplane mode. That is your absolute best equation for using maps while we're out there on the trails. So just something to think about. The other one that I like to encourage is the second one is always use your satellite settings. So what I mean by satellite setting is if you go to your Google Maps, your Apple Maps, whatever, you're probably going to have something that looks like just some silly brown blah blah look, right? Well, we don't want a brown blah blah look. That's not going to do us any good. We want something that actually has trails, that actually shows us where we're going. So if you get into satellite mode, you can see the mountains, you can see the trails, you can zoom in, and that is usually one of the layer pieces that you can find on your map so that you can turn it into satellite mode. I encourage you to get used to using it all the time, even when you're around town. And people are like, well, why would I want to use satellite map when I'm around town? Well, one of the big reasons that you can do that is if you're looking for somebody's house and you're going down the street, it's not the third brown box on the maps anymore. It's the red house on the right? And so utilize that to your advantage as you keep going. And then that just gives you even more opportunity to be successful while you're out on the trail. Now you can start seeing where the roads are. Now you can start seeing where other things are. Okay, that's number 2. Third one is paper maps. Oh, what are those? Like, we're so 2026. You're like, wait, Charlene, I thought we were doing 2026. Where's the app for that? Well, we still like to have paper maps because paper maps are fallback. It's our opportunity to be successful. However, there's some paper map thought processes that I want you to have. You can't just maybe go print a paper map or buy a paper map and say, okay, I feel better now. I have a paper map with me for that particular area. How about we look at that paper map before we go somewhere? One, how old is it? Are the trails even on it? And does it like lay out to where we're going to even go? So if we're coming down to a paper map, we got problems, my friends, right? We got problems if we're not using our app for that. So once we get to a paper map, hey, how about we make sure ahead of time that we have the location, we have the trail system, we understand what's going on, we've put the Onyx next to the map, we see how they engage with each other, and then you can be more successful with that. The fourth one is planning. So it's really great how some of these apps have these planning routes, and you can say, okay, I'm in this area right now, or I want to go to this area. I want to go to Moab or somewhere along the way, and I want to go try some new trails. And so you can click on these trails and they can show you the loop. A lot of them have pictures. They give you ratings. They give you all kinds of great things. Like, it is amazing the opportunities that we have today that we didn't even have 5-10 years ago, right? To be really, really honest with it, about going out, researching, and finding that trail that's perfect for you. But then there's like this edge in there. There's this little edge, and I want you to consider this little edge as, what is the rating? And so look into this trail, be more concise, be more understanding of what kind of vehicle you have, your width, your height, your length. How big are you? Like, I was just talking about how I was in a Sprinter van for a week, and we were in the middle of the desert. So this particular time, my height didn't matter, but I was in one a few weeks back or a few months back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there is no way we could get under these trees if I was in a Sprinter van right now versus being in a Jeep, which is much lower, right? So your length, width, height all comes into play as you're considering where you're going, what works with your vehicle, and with your skill set level. And then number 5, my number 5th option is thinking about mapping, what happens when the plan changes? Like, okay, I had this great route, I had this great plan, I had all these things all laid out, everything was happy, and then we have to turn around. And then we have to do this. And then there was a fork in the road that wasn't on the map. What do we do? Right? And so thinking about the bigger picture of how to be successful with change and what that means on your map. A lot of times that can get a little crazy, right? So there is on the 2026 app versions that you get the opportunity to record your track. And I always encourage this as well. A lot of people will be like, well, I don't care about how far I went, where I'm going, what I'm doing, and all the rest of it. And I'm like, well, that's cool. But what if you have to turn around and retrace your steps? Are you going to be able to do that? And so what this does when you start recording your track is it's what we call creates a breadcrumb trail. And that breadcrumb trail allows these little dots to go on the map. And then if you do have to turn around, if something was to happen, you wanted to understand where you started from, now you got it. Now when you come backwards to a Y, it completely looks different. You know if you need to go right or left. And as you're going forward and you have a question like, I don't know if this is right or not, you can go right or left. And then you're like, that isn't the way I wanted to go. And you can backtrack on your dots and then go the other way. So a lot of opportunity there for thought processing if you have to change your plans as you go along. Okay, there's your 5 tips for mapping right now for your Trail Ready Tip Tuesday. Is there something that you have done, something that was important to you, one of those that you're like, oh, that's a good idea, or another idea that you have that you always tell people about mapping? Make sure you add those into the comments. It's always appreciated. And I will read those as we carry on, because the next little part isn't a long list, but just a couple things to make sure that you are staying up on. One is we want to welcome all of our new members. Let's give everybody a heart. We have some new members on tonight. Lifetime members, yearly members, and monthly membership is available. Monthly membership is only $13 a month, which is pretty cool. Get you into the circle of trust and a lot of other opportunities that we have going on. And then our 2026 resolutions, they're open all year. So if you think that just because it's not January, you shouldn't send in your 2026 resolutions, well, you might as well just go ahead and write those up, type those up, and send them on in, because we are more than happy to take those in and put them in the mailbox so that at the end of the year, you can check off on your resolutions. Like, everything changes. I don't know. Since where I was in January to staying out on the road for 6 weeks out here, like, that wasn't in the plan. So just do what you do, ladies. Excuse me. I shouldn't be laughing either. It's like the awful mix. Let's get sick while you're on the road. Most of it was King of the Hammers dirt. And then talk too much and then laugh in the middle of it. None of those are a good combination. Okay, I gotta stop laughing. Bring it back, Charlene. Bring it back. That doesn't help, because now I'm laughing because I'm laughing. Oh my goodness. Okay, everybody throw a laughy face. There. Another cough drop. Okay. So, in other news, get off the resolutions. This is the part that's awful about live. All right, so in other news, season 1 of She Conquers Dirt is out. It's on your end now. Huge hearts. Come on, throw a heart. Yes, yes, yes. So exciting. Oh. So, She Conquers Dirt season 1. I want to send out a special thank you to Avis Cook for helping with hosting those 8. That was a great opportunity. A great, like, sweep the dust off for me. Right? Like, Bauer Power Hour was, oh gosh, it was over 12 years ago now that I did that. And so it was kind of fun to bring all those interviews back. Some of those we did in December before King of the Hammers, and brought them up as we went through that whole season of 8 of them. And it was so, so great. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch them, you now have the Netflix binge effect available for you. So you can watch right now all 8 on Bauer Media's YouTube channel, which you may be on right now, or you can go to any one of our Facebook pages, click the link, and then that will get you into our Bauer Media Facebook page. So who are these girls, right? And that is one of the fun parts, is they're just a name on a list. And I was really looking at that today when I sent the email out. I'm like, I don't know, if I was to get this email, I'm like, who are these people? Like, they just are a name on a list, right? Like, none of them are, I don't know, a famous movie star or somebody that we would know. And that's the whole point and purpose, is they're not people that you know, but they are people that are important in our off-road industry right now, and somebody that you should read through, listen to, watch, whatever it can be, and be a part of it. So the first one that we did was Amber Slauson. Amber Slauson ended up taking second at King of the Hammers. But she did this way before. Like, we talked to her back in December. So it's pretty fun to listen to her and how she preps for King of the Hammers, how everything has gone for her and all the elements to that. Peyton Dumford, a young teenager, just getting into it in the side-by-side class. I don't know. She's like at 13, like the most motivational speaker that I think we had out of those 8. It's hard to like judge them all because they're all so incredible and all at a different level. But I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl is like, go get it, right? Angel Volkart, she's our dirt biker. She did King of the Moto. She was aggressive. She's like way too short, and she says she's too old. I don't think you're ever too old to try anything, but like, really? And then she goes out and does King of the Motos. Miley Hale, gosh dang it. Miley Hale, same challenge. Like, she's young, she's just starting. She got into the rookie program in the side-by-side class. Did great out at King of the Hammers. Freaking live. This is the challenge. And then we started back into the industry, folks, because King of the Hammers was over, right? You guys had those opportunities to then cheer them on. So we had Jessie Greenland, who is traveling all over the country with Metal Cloak and doing the CTI trailers. She explains about how she got into the off-road industry, even though, again, like, this was another dream of hers, and like how she went about doing it. The Laura Butcher, who is now the owner of Vora Off-Road Racing Association, and is having a ton of fun with that, but is also doing all kinds of land use opportunities and what those two require, and the permitting and the BLM into it. Cora Joinkinen, who is a business owner, but she wasn't a business owner until she bought her company and had to and had to figure it all out, right? And she figured it out as she went. And now they just bought another company and are just doing an amazing job. And then Rose Wynn, oh my gosh, this is a must watch for everybody that goes out on a trail. She helps make land use sexy, and it's such an unsexy topic, and yet at the same time, like, while everybody is working out there and having a good time, she was just a hiker. She wasn't even an off-roader, and now she's one of our main players that are out there to keep our trails open. So that is like 8 names, right? You all got them in the email. You see it on the list. You see them in their fancy picture. but they all have a story, just like you all have a story. And what I'm trying to do about with these She Conquers Dirt, one of my goals is not so like you're just hearing their story, but so that your time is worth it. If you're going to invest an hour of your time, I want you to walk away from that hour with 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 things that will make you say, I really needed to hear that, or that really motivated me, or that really changed my perspective on something, or I really took something away from that. And so as we roll into this next set that start next week, we got some more adventure getters that are coming up in this next set. Let me tell you, that's my goal. Okay, so listen to these first 8, Netflix the heck out of them, series them up, get them going, so that next week you guys are ready for a whole nother set. And they're going to start a lot of entertainment value. Not that they aren't all, like, I can't say anything negative or different about them because every single one of them is different. And I think that that's also something I've really appreciated about recording this series is every single lady is different. Every single story is different. Every single way we go down the lane is different. And I really, really appreciate that part. All right. This live is really aggressive. Sorry about the coughing. Sorry about things happening in the background. March. Let's move on in life. So March is a Fast and Furious month. Again, I looked at the calendar and I'm like, ooh. So we've already been a few days into it. We Rock crawling just happened. And next up is the Mint 400. It is one of the largest desert races that's out there. It started in 1968. And it's incredible. Also in March is the Overland Expo in SoCal and Terra del Sol, which is 2 SoCal events. So hopefully if you're in SoCal, you take advantage of those. Plus at the end of the month is Easter Jeep Safari, which I will be at and participating in. So at Easter Jeep Safari, if you are coming, make sure that you reach out to me. There are always VIP experiences, just like you saw in the pictures that I posted yesterday. Oh my gosh, weren't those amazing from 2018, right? So there's trail rides. There's Ultra 4 racing going on that week. There's We Rock crawling going on that week. There's kids programs, Camp Moab on Friday the 3rd. All kinds of stuff. If you are coming to Easter Jeep Safari, reach out to me directly. Let me know. I will get you a opportunity to be a part of some fun things. We are also, as I looked at the calendar, exactly 1 month out from our April skills camp. I know. So our next Trail Ready Tuesday will be back in the motorhome, back in Arizona on the Tuesday night before we start our skills camp on Wednesday. So our Google Meets at the end will be very short-lived. It'll be a Q&A only because I will have people that are out there that are available and wanting their dinner, pretty much is how that's going to go down. So that's going to be exactly 1 month from tonight. The skills camps are 8th and the 10th, the Wednesday to Friday. And then also remember, I changed the one that was co-ed to a ladies only, and that'll be the 13th to the 15th. That one is available. Now, I just went in. I made all the changes on the website. So if you've been looking at it and you're questioning it, it's all available. It's all ready, and it's ready to rock and roll. I'm going to give everybody 1 more week at the discounted rate. And then next week, when I get back into the office, that discount is going away. So it'll be at full price in 1 week. We also have the Wilderness First Aid, which is on Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and the 12th. And I please really, really, really want people to take advantage of that. It's a very, very great opportunity for you to get your Wilderness First Aid certification and think about what happens out in the middle of the desert when we're out having fun and then things go sideways, right? So I need to remind everybody, almost literally, you have 2 times out of the year when you have an opportunity to do hands-on training with me. This is one of them. So the spring is one, and we have one in the fall. So take advantage of these opportunities, make that date work. Arizona, April 8th to the 10th, or Arizona, April 13th to the 15th. And then we will have Wilderness First Aid on the 2 days in between that, the 11th and the 12th. And then we have our September dates with the location to be determined still on that one. The next event that I just want to quickly reference again, since you guys have been hearing about this since December, this is nothing new, is our 10-year party that is happening in June in Hollister. Many of you are already signed up. If you have not already, again, you need to get on top of that so you can get the discounted rate. All right. And so that will be June 12th to the 14th. It's a Friday to a Sunday. Ladies only. You can absolutely fly in. I was talking to somebody the other day. This is absolutely a fly in. You do not need a vehicle. You don't need anything. You just need to show up. Like, I just want everybody there. Okay. Everybody there. That's the goal. The 10-year party. If you've been a part of Ladies Off-Road Network at any point in time, everybody is there. That's the goal. And then from there, we do our 10-year adventure, which is a 10-day adventure. Also, June 14th to the 24th. I do have 2 split outs on that as well, so you don't have to necessarily do the whole thing. All this we've talked about now for 4 months. Yes, ladies, for 4 months. So if you have not committed, why not? And let's get that taken care of, right? Also open right now is the Nomad Rally registration. So that is open for you to be participating in as well. And let's make sure that you get going on that. Regardless of what your summer plans are, this is an awesome opportunity for education and also for adventure. Okay, there's my list. I apologize for all the coughing. It's been miserable on my end also. And I apologize on your end. It's post King of the Hammers, and then it turned into a cold along the way. And we got a lot going on in here, so I am going to go ahead and cut this off right now. If you came in late, this is going up on a record. It will come back up on Facebook, and it will come back up on YouTube. Please make sure you go back and watch the beginning. There are 5 questions, well, 4 questions, I guess, at the end. There's 4 questions that I asked at the very beginning. I want your answers. Make sure that you go back, watch the replay, get the answers in there. And then we talked about the Trail Ready Tuesday topic, which was mapping. So if that was something that you missed and you want to go back and watch it, do that as well. Thank you for struggling through the updates with me and all the coughing. That was, oh, what a challenge. All right. And then we are going to go over to Google Meets, which I will grab you the link right now. So if you don't have the link, you can grab it from me in 1 second. There it is. And then I can answer anybody's independent questions with that. All right, there you go. Google Meet link is up and in the links. So if you want to join over and come and chat more, or you have questions about more, make sure that you jump over on that. The store is open. These are the cute shirts for this year. All right. I hope you guys are feeling well, and we will see you soon.